All right, good afternoon. Today is November 18th, 2020. The Bristol, Tennessee Beer Board is now in session. Mr. Secretary, roll call, please.
Chairman Kistner?
Yes, here.
Vice Chairman Ketron? No, he's present, but I don't think his microphone's working. Mr. Greason?
Yes.
Mr. Boer?
Yes.
And Mr. Vance? Mr. Vance, your microphone's muted.
I'm here.
Okay. Everybody's present.
Okay. Let's have a brief discussion. Is Danielle Smith on this meeting?
Yes, Chairman, I'm on the meeting.
Okay. I think we wanted to have a brief discussion to talk about the idea of having the meeting online.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This is what's considered an electronic meeting, which has been allowed by executive order of the Governor of Tennessee. The ability to have electronic meetings has been extended through December 27th by the Governor's Executive Order number 65. And government bodies are permitted to electronically to the extent necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans, rather than having to gather everybody in a physical location. One condition of meeting electronically is that if a member of council or any staff person or a member of the board or any staff person is attending by audio only, they're asked to identify yourself by name and position when you speak. In order to proceed with meeting electronically, the Beer Board should make a determination that meeting electronically is necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. So if the members need to discuss that at this time, you may do so. After discussion, or if no discussion is necessary, you should proceed to a roll call vote, a motion and a second and a roll call vote to determine whether meeting electronically is necessary.
Okay. I'd like to hear, I guess, a roll call vote from the Secretary as far as a yes vote would mean yes, we approve the need for this meeting to be held on a virtual basis. So, Mr. Secretary, roll call, please.
Chairman Kistner?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Ketron? His microphone's not working. Mr. Ketron, if you'll just chat or thumbs up or thumbs down. Mr. Greason?
Yes.
Mr. Boer?
Yes.
Mr. Vance?
Yes.
So it sounds to me that there is an agreement that the meeting can be held in a virtual mode.
Yes.
Has everyone had a chance to read their minutes from our previous meeting?
Move to approve both copies of the September and the October meeting.
Are there any additions or corrections to our previous meetings? Captain Brown, are you seeing any indicators there?
I am not.
Okay. Well, if not, these minutes will stand as read. Mr. Secretary, first order of business.
The first order of business is a new permit. This will be an off-premises permit for Carl's Beverage that's located at 410 Hazelwood Street. It's a change of ownership. Mr. Patel is going to be representing. His application is complete. I've done the inspection. The fees have been paid. Alcohol education has been completed, and there's no known adverse conditions. And Mr. Patel is present.
Okay, Mr. Patel, can you hear everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Have you been in this type business before where alcohol has been sold?
Yes, but not in Tennessee. It's in Virginia.
Okay, where were you doing this type business before?
Right here on State Street, Virginia.
Screw this.
Did you have any violations from your previous business?
No, sir.
Okay. Any, well, we don't have anyone from the public here. Anyone from the board wish to ask questions regarding this application? Mr. Secretary, I'm assuming no questions on this application from our board members.
Motion to,
Have a motion to approve. Do I hear a
Mr.
second?
Chairman, I make a motion.
I second that.
And Mr. Boer motion and Mr. Ketron second.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve and a second. Any further discussion on this application? Can I assume there's no further discussion? Mr. Secretary, can you confirm that for me?
No chat.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and have a roll call on the application to approve on this motion, please.
Chairman Kistner,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Ketron,
Yes.
Mr. Greason,
Yes.
Mr. Boer,
Yes.
Mr. Vance.
Yes.
Mr.
Okay.
Patel. Go ahead, Craig.
I was going to say, did everyone vote?
Yes, everybody voted yes.
Okay, it sounds to me that the motion is approved 5-0. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Mr. Patel, we'll take just a minute. Captain Brown will talk to you about getting your paperwork, and we wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mr. Patel, I'll call you and email you after the meeting and let you know what to do next.
Okay, no problem, sir. Should I leave from a meeting or should I stay on?
You can leave the meeting and I'll call you afterwards.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
And Mr. Secretary, when you're ready, the next order of business.
Chairman, the next order of business will be Livy Premium Food Service, the BMS, permit number Tango 070828-07 for a sale to under 21 compliance check. Violation occurred on September 19th, 2020. And for the permit number -07, this is the first violation for this particular permit. Mr. Congello is representing. He's on the phone.
Mr. Congello, can you hear us?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. You understand why we're having this meeting today as far as Levy Foods, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Captain Brown, if you will help me, this is a continuation of our previous discussion on this particular case.
This is a new violation. It was a continuation because he was unable to make it to the last meeting.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm with you. Okay. Mr. Congello, what we'll do is Captain Brown, is there someone there from our department that will be briefing the beer board regarding this alleged violation?
Yes, we have a street crimes officer that's going to be speaking.
Okay. And do you know who that will be?
Detective Chapman.
Detective Chapman. Okay. Mr. Congello, what we will do is give Detective Chapman a minute to speak and tell us what he has to say. And then if you have any questions after he speaks, we'll give you an opportunity to ask those questions. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Well, if that's appropriate, we will now have Detective Chapman enter our meeting and tell about the events of that date.
Can you guys hear me okay?
I think he's got some background noise that's making the echo, or second device or something that's making the echo. Try again, Detective Chapman.
All right, I think we got it fixed.
Okay, you sound good now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
On September 19th of 2020, the Street Crimes Unit conducted an alcohol enforcement operation, which involved the use of a confidential informant or a CI under the age of 21. The informant was instructed to use their official state ID, which shows their date of birth to be August 12th of 2000. The ID also shows under 21 until 8/12/2021. The informant was instructed to answer all questions regarding their date of birth truthfully and not be deceptive in an attempt to purchase alcohol. On that date at about 5:49 p.m., the CI and I went to Bristol Motor Speedway, which is located at 151 Speedway Boulevard. We went to the concession area that was selling bottled beer. This was located at building number 156. The sales and transactions was being carried out by two male workers, one of which was wearing a neon yellow shirt with the letters EMS on the front. The CI spoke with this worker, who was later identified as Nathaniel Collier Jr., and requested a Bud Light beer. The CI produced their official state identification. Nathaniel looked at the CI's ID and told the CI that the total cost was $7. Nathaniel then completed the transaction by accepting payment from the CI in exchange for the Bud Light beer. The CI paid for the beer with a prepaid debit card that was provided to her by the Street Crimes Unit. Upon completing the transaction, the CI gave the beer to Lieutenant Tate, and I then identified myself to Nathaniel.
Okay, Mr. Congello, do you have any questions regarding Detective Chapman's statement?
No, I do not.
Okay. Anyone on the board have any additional questions of Detective Chapman? Okay, I assume there's no questions. Can you confirm that, Captain Brown?
That's correct. No questions.
Okay. I guess we need to discuss, this is, if I understood you or recall correctly, Captain Brown, you said this was the first violation for this particular address?
Yes.
Okay. Historically, on first violations, if we believe there was indeed a violation, we offer a 10-day suspension or a $1,500 civil penalty in lieu of suspension. And also there would be if they choose a suspension date, that date will be chosen to coincide with dates of service that are required by the Speedway. So do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Okay, who was that motion by?
Jason Boer.
Okay, thank you. And do I hear a second?
I second it.
And who is that?
Mr. Vance.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Anyone on the board wish to discuss this further? Let me back up just a minute. Mr. Congello, do you have anything that you'd like to say regarding this alleged violation?
No, not with regard to the violation. I just want to take a moment, though, just to address the board with regard to my company's plan moving forward, heading into 2021, if I could have a few moments.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, this has been this partner who Nathaniel Collier worked with, served as a hawking partner for us back in July as well. And they had a violation or two then as well. Moving forward, my plan is to explore different opportunities to maybe replace this partner, as well as to increase our training with regard to the proper serving of alcohol. I know that the board is aware that we require every partner, every team member to complete a online training, as well as have pre-shift trainings prior to the event. I'm in the process now of trying to coordinate and plan to have live trainings conducted with every individual who will be serving beer or alcohol into 2021. As well, working to create an additional informational packet, if that's the correct word, for these folks who are serving alcohol to be able to carry on their person, to help them identify the correct IDs, to provide additional opportunities for them to read the IDs properly and correctly, so that we can eliminate these violations. That's all, Commissioner Kitchen.
Okay. I appreciate that. I'm certainly in agreement with you. I know for me personally, and today is proof that when you do things online, it doesn't always work out the way you would like for it to. And again, I'm proof of that today. I think the personal live training has got to be, at least for me, better than trying to do it virtually online. We've always had concerns about the virtual training. We've asked the question, I know in the past, do we know that the person that was supposed to be taking the training, if they actually were the person that keyed in the answers? There's really no way to tell. But anyway, I think for me personally, I think that's a step in the right direction. Any other board members have any comments regarding Mr. Congello's statements? Okay, I don't hear any. Can you confirm that, Captain Brown?
That's correct. There's not any.
Okay. Right now, we've got a motion on the floor for a 10-day suspension or $1,500 civil penalty. And if I'm correct, and Captain Brown, if you can confirm that, we have a second for that also.
That's correct.
Okay. Any further discussion by board members on this alleged violation? If not, roll call, please, Mr. Secretary.
Chairman Kistner,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Ketchum, I haven't heard from Mr. Ketchum. Mr. Greason,
Yes.
Mr. Boer,
Yes.
Mr. Vance.
Yes.
Okay. Haven't heard from Mr. Ketchum, but based on what I heard, there were at least 4 yes votes, so the motion will pass. And Captain Brown will get with Mr. Congello and give him the order of suspension. And as you may have known in the past, you have an option to do the $1,500 civil penalty. I guess the next question is our suspension dates. And Captain Brown, if I'm going to put you on the spot, do you know when the next order of service for this concession stand would be?
Just a minute. I've got the 27 calendar. Mr. Congello can probably answer that question.
Yes, I can. Yes, sir. I can share that. The next day when this stand will be utilized will be for our March 2021 race, which is the weekend of March 26th through March 28th, 2021.
Okay, with that information, I'll go back through one more account and ask to, and Ms. Smith, if you'll help me with this, I think we need to amend this to include a date. Is that correct?
Somebody can make a motion to amend, yes, and that will take care of including the dates.
Okay, I'll suggest a motion in which the suspension, if that's the route they take, would begin on March the 25th and proceed for 10 calendar days. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
I second.
How about, okay, have a motion and a second to begin the suspension date on March the 25th, 2021. Mr. Secretary, roll call, please.
Chairman Kistner,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Ketron, Mr. Greason,
Yes.
Mr. Boer,
Yes.
and Mr. Vance.
Yes.
Okay, it sounds as though the amendment passes, and again, the motion has passed for the suspension, and the amendment, which reads from the date of 3/25/21, will be the beginning of suspension date if that's the route they choose to take. Okay.
Mr. Congello, I will email you that form when we get off this meeting.
Okay.
Mr. Congello, thanks for your cooperation on this, and you'll be hearing from Captain Brown.
Okay. Thank you. May I hop?
Thank
may I
you.
hop off?
Yes, you may
As
leave.
far as I know, you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And Captain Brown, when you're ready, next order of business.
No new business, just the next meeting set for December 16th, and we have no pending business for that meeting at the moment.
Okay, so we will get back via email at some date prior to that, of course, and hopefully closer in the next few weeks to let you all know whether or not we will have a need for a meeting on that date. Any questions or comments from staff or from board members? Captain Brown, can you confirm?
There's no chat, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. With that then, first I'll apologize for not being able to be there visually. I'll do some homework and try to get up to this century on understanding these things. I had some technical difficulties, and my apologies for not going through this and making sure I knew what I was doing before this meeting. But with that, I appreciate everyone being here, and unless anyone has anything additional, we stand adjourned. Thank you.